Big East wins under your belt, and just in general, how are you feeling about your guys right now compared to maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago?
I like where we're at, Sean. I think one of the things when we've gotten into regular season play, we've never gotten too high or too low on wins and losses. We've tried to stay pretty steady and deal with the next one. But to be 2-0 in this league right now and to get a good road win on Monday, I think we've played well in both our league games. You couldn't ask for a better start. And you kind of get back here, get a little bit of rest because a Saturday, Monday is exhausting. And yesterday and today are days where we want to get our energy back and then prepare for another tough one on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Wes?
Yeah, hey, Mike, just one quick one here. I know during that 2-week break there, you're focused on Seton Hall, but with a little extra time, I was wondering if you had any conversations with your staff, maybe things you didn't really address with your team, things you were looking for from your guys in their first real big road test in the Big East, and were you able to check some of those boxes off?
Well, one of the things we talked a little bit about, I didn't want to show them any film of, that was our first road game last year at Cincinnati, and we just handled it very young, which we were, and got overwhelmed, and that we're more ready to handle it. And it's funny how it played out where we're down 20-11, we call timeout, and it's very poised and very matter of fact. We talked about taking punches on the road. We took a couple of them, and I was really pleased with how we came out of those. Of course, you saw a little bit of that in the second half against BYU, where we called a timeout, down 7, didn't panic. Again, I think our maturity and our experience helped us in that department.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Gavin?
Good morning, Coach. I read somewhere where you called your backcourt the best in the country. Can you just talk a little bit about them and why you believe that?
Yeah, I just feel I don't feel there's any backcourt better than them. I think they're as good as any of them out there. The way they've been playing, I think they've been a little under the radar for a lot of reasons, but their efficiency right now with what they're doing on the offensive end is flat out off the charts. And the reason I say that so confidently about them is the improved defenders they've become because their bodies are stronger. They've gotten older and stronger. They were both leaner guys when they got here, and their ability to guard strong guards in our league, and we have a lot of strong ones, and we got 2 of them coming in here Saturday. A great example is Atkins' job on Kashmir Wright the other night.
Can you talk about the matchup with their UConn guys?
It's a great matchup. These 2 guys are really good, and it's and I think our guys really love those challenges because they had that challenge on Monday. And they know when really good guards are coming at them, they've risen to that challenge. At Louisville last year, even as young guys, right after we lost to Cincinnati, they accepted that challenge on the road. So I think, Eric and Jaron really love the challenges like we're going to have on Saturday, and I'm so impressed with how Napier and Boatwright are playing right now. They really make them go.
And one more question. Just what have you seen, what kind of stamp has Coach Ollie put on the program in his short time?
You know what? He is. I'm really thrilled that they decided to invest in him. You know what? The players love him. You could tell the kids on the team love him, and he walks that line of being able to be close to them, but yet being their coach and getting on their backside extremely well. I think it's a great decision by Connecticut to enlist Kevin long term. I got the chance to talk to him at media day, and he was hoarse. And he said, "Coach, how come you have your voice and I don't have mine?" I said, "Well, my first couple years as a coach, I always lost my voice. So you're on the right track." But the kids love playing for him, and I think it's great continuity for Connecticut to have him running the show.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Brian?
Yeah, Mike, just kind of going back to that, being stronger makes you a better defender. Are there also technical things that those guys do better as defenders now than maybe they did even last year or certainly the year before?
I think it's much more physical strength, and we've made sure it's more important to them and our team that they become better defenders. I thought at times last year we couldn't guard ball screens maybe because they had a hard time getting over it, and it needed to be more important. And I think we really stressed that with them early in this season, even in the summer practices, and I really got on them a couple times together about, you guys got to get over the top of ball screens. Our bigs can't always be the guys helping. And, this is a ball screen league, and man, it's the ultimate ball screen day on Saturday for two little guys who can zip off a ball screen. So I think they've taken pride in that. We've probably done some stuff with footwork and what direction we're going to push the ball at a ball screen to help them. But I think it's overall their physical willpower and their mental willpower to be better at it.
How much stronger are they? I mean, we saw them when they came in. I mean, is
Yeah.
it night and day?
It's come a long way. I think Grant's at about 200 pounds. He's got to be up 16 to 17 pounds from when he got here as a freshman. Atkins is probably at about 187, and I'd say he's probably up 15 or 16 since he got here. But if you look at Atkins' shoulders and arms and chest, he's just more of a young man now. And the same thing with Grant. I mean, Grant was so thin. Both those guys, when they take they're proud to take their shirts off now a little bit. So, it's nothing like having older guys, and these guys are part of our older guys now as third-year guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else on the line that I missed? Okay, we'll take questions here.
What makes a good guard?
I think leadership qualities, being great with the ball. All the great guards in this league don't turn the thing over. Their assist to turnover is really high. The ability to feel the game of when they need to score and not involve their teammates. I think both of our guys have balanced that pretty darn good. They got to be defenders, and I think, again, that's the biggest improvement with our backcourt, that they've become more dependable defenders over the course of a game.
You talked about strength. There was a scene there late in the game, like a minute left, where Kashmir Wright's trying to go for the ball, and Eric gives him a little shot. Maybe as a freshman or even a sophomore, Eric can't hold him off like that. Maybe
Right.
Kashmir Wright can get in there and get the ball.
No question. Kashmir Wright, held his mouth, and I was like, my God, we finally delivered a shot instead of took a shot. And I was out of bounds. Eric kind of hit him like, it was inadvertent. But Kashmir reached in and was like, whoa, and so, yeah, I think that's a great example of where we are with strength, older guy, and confidence. Even Jaron with Kilpatrick and those guys, he gets to the lane, and those step backs, those two shots he hit, those had to be physical, get away from my guy, create space. And that's just, you got 16 more pounds and you're stronger.
How is it different preparing for Connecticut this year, where it's always been you have to prepare for size?
Yeah.
And now they really don't have that.
It really is amazing to look at their stats. Their block shots are usually off the charts, and to not be looking and going, okay, there's three frontline guys. How are we going to deal with this? But these two guards make those frontline guys really good players, just like our guards can make our other guys better players. So, how do we control those two guys? There's got to be a team awareness. Of course, we had a similar preparation on Monday. How you dealing with these good guards who kind of make the big guys go? So hopefully we can carry over from Monday's prep to Saturday.
How else are they different in terms of stuff they run or defensive approach?
Connecticut?
Yes.
They've played a little more zone than before, I think, because they've got to keep those guards on the floor almost the whole game. But still, I'll say this, the difference between Kevin's running more, they're moving and cutting more, a little bit more of a motion look instead of ball screens and sets right away under Jim Calhoun. Now, when at the end of the day, it reverts back to somebody ball screening for Napier or Boatwright, or those guys just getting ready to go. And what makes it difficult, and of course it was similar with Cincinnati, they can shoot it too. So you can't play off them. You got to be up on them, but they can drive by you and they can make plays. So our team defense against the ball screen like it was Monday, will really be a key for us Saturday.
I guess while I was away, Scott Martin became the best three-point shooter in the country. One of the best ones. And I know that he's worked hard on that, and it kind of came along slowly, but it looks like he's pretty locked in.
I think he's very confident, and Tim. One of the things we talked about is one of the thing I talked to him about in the spring was just shoot all summer. I mean, you don't need to play that much pickup. This guy knows how to play, but just get shots up. And he got a lot of shots up, so I think he's confident. And now that he's seeing them going in, and he's made some big ones for us, it gives us another weapon when that stretch four-man can make shots. It really spreads people. And we had some amazing possessions the other night where we had the floor so spread, and you had the defense closing out a long way. Now, where we're different is with Connaughton, Grant, and Atkins, as you're closing out, they can go by you too. And that's really put people in tough help and recover positions.
That's been a tough place for you to play.
Very tough.
Start out slowly. I mean, what has your veteran team learned from previous experiences playing in that environment?
I just think we're more poised and we're more confident. All the experiences this starting group had been through starting last year to now, and I go back to the second half of BYU. We had one of those that where our backs were against the wall a little bit, and I loved how we responded. But that, the timeout, the body language was different. Nobody was hanging their head because they missed a shot. Nobody was feeling sorry for themselves because maybe they thought they got fouled. Guys were like, and we actually talked about it. It's coming. How are we going to come? In that timeout, I said, okay, we talked about this. How are we going to come out of this thing? Now, I didn't know we were going to come out and make 6 threes, but I'll take that anytime. I mean, we call the timeout. But I just think it was a calmness, a poise, and a maturity that has been part of the process with this nucleus.
How different are they without Gates?
They're different. They don't have that guy they can throw it into, and where you have to maybe be aware and help a little bit and then recover back to good perimeter guys. That has changed them offensively. He can make and score and get fouled around the bucket. I think they're still searching for a post presence. But, when we play them here in a month or whenever, the way they defend you physically. See, for us to only turn it over 7 times over 40 minutes was pretty good because they're up on you and bumping you and checking you. And then they got some shot blockers back there. It was demoralizing. We get it into Jack, and he gets 2 blocked, and you're thinking, okay, how are we going to score? Eventually, we figured it out and moved them around a little bit.
You said it the other night, and then Jay Billis also said it on the telecast, so I don't know who to credit, but the culture of passing, what goes into that, and how do you develop it?
Yeah, Jay really said that at the shoot-around. And you've heard.
Stole it from him.
Yeah, I used it back. I did steal it from him. He gets credit. I texted him. I said, thank you. And you've heard me talk about how we loved, but I said, I never heard it put like that, and I do think that's really been important in our program from day one. We've really emphasized that. We've put up, where we are in assists nationally, where we are in the league. I'll come into the locker room after a game, or I'll go 25 assists. Unbelievable. To keep reinforcing that unselfishness. And now our guys really take a lot of pride in how they move the ball. There has to be great trust to do that. And that's something that I have to develop. Now, I think there is great trust because, it's not like 10 guys are playing. The smaller that number of that rotation, guys know they're going to be out there. They're more comfortable to keep doing that because they know, well, I'm going to be out here a while. I'm not just in and out of the game. I do like how Cam has become a better passer and has been pulled along like this is what we do in our program. Sherm has been better with the ball lately. We've been on him about his turnovers. But those starters really, they love figuring it out with the pass. And, we recruit basketball IQ guys for the most part. And, so it's something that we've really emphasized, and our guys have been proud of it.
You look at Connaughton's assist numbers,
Yeah.
he's already way past
Yeah.
what he did last year. Is it just a situation where, all right, for 1 year we need you to do this,
Yeah.
but we know with your basketball IQ, you can start finding guys as your career develops?
I think it's the progression, Tom. Excellent point. When we put him in there last year, make shots. You don't have to worry about driving it. Rebound and defend for us. He did a fabulous job in that role for us, and we win 9 in a row in the league. But you know, coming in, he more of a work on handling the ball and in the summer, and he couldn't go left at all last year. It was kind of a running joke, but he gets in there now and makes plays, and again, I'm proud of the all-around basketball player he's become off the dribble, and that's we got a third guy on the perimeter that if you close out to, they're going to go by you, and that's the nice balance we have.
You led the nation in assists in 07, 08. Where's that? I know when you got the trophy or the award.
It's on the coffee table. It's right there. I
know you left it in the locker room for a while.
I did, but I keep it there so for recruiting purposes, people look at those plaques. Least amount of turnovers, we led the nation. I've got all those plaques that go around our passing and our decision making. There's like 3 or 4 of them I keep right on the coffee table in there.
You've had in your time here, got five different guys in Aaron Goldie Murphy, Carroll, Graves, Thomas, who finished their careers as top 10 scorers. But how often? I mean, it seems like the passing element, the assist element, sometimes gets overlooked when you've had guys that have been big time scorers.
No, I think it's one of the things. Our efficiency sometimes it isn't probably, people aren't as aware of it as maybe they should be. It's you can't have top scorers unless you got guys who can really find them and pass it to and move it to them, and not just one guy, a point guard, a bunch of guys that can find those guys that can put it in the hole. What's interesting about this year's team is different guys can do it, and we can ride different guys. I think our group is smart enough. Martin's rolling. We'll ride him for a while. Okay, they've taken that away. We'll ride Jaron for a while. Okay, Cooley for a while. And I think the starters especially understand, okay, this is how we do it. Now, I liked how Cam has come in, and we've ridden Cam for a while. And Sherm has come in games, and we've ridden him for a while. So, it's great when you have balance like that because it's hard to prepare for us that way. When we had just a Heron Goatee, it was a little easier to take away some stuff.
Do you have a magic number for assists?
When we get into when you're at 20 assists, that is off the charts. And to have 20 in a league game is something you can really hang your hat on. I don't look at the assists as much as I look at how many turnovers did we have. If that's low and we're really taking care of the ball, if we're in single digits in turnovers, that makes me very happy. I don't care what the assists are because then I know, we've been really efficient there.
It was odd to see you only had 13. It seemed like you had.
It seemed like we did.
The ball. I looked at it and said
Yeah.
21, 22. You're only 13.
I know. It seemed like we had more. I looked at it and I was pleased 7 against that overwhelming in your face, and our guards were tired at times. Now we were able to steal them a blow, unlike pass, and I liked that we were able to do that because they needed the blow.
When I see Conadin's development penetrating, it kind of reminds me not that he's a good shooter as Matt Carroll, but Matt Carroll taking his game.
Matt did that in his senior year. He was getting into that mid-range stuff. He couldn't finish at the rim like Pat, but he had a great mid-range game, and he became more of a shot fake, get into the lane, 12-footer, and he actually made some plays off the dribble, and so that's a very good comparison of a guy who kind of added to his game, not just a shooter. When Hurricane Sandy hit, I was thinking, we've got the State University of New Jersey coming in here. Is that the 19th?
Yeah.
The 19th, and I said, and obviously Chris Christie and I go way back. He also has a daughter who's very interested in coming to Notre Dame, and I thought we could kill a couple birds with one stone here. His daughter can certainly come out and get a good tour of Notre Dame, but he loves he loves our team and watches us all the time. So as it looks like now, I'm 99% sure he is going to be out here. We've got some auction items, which is in the release, and then we'll present a check to him, I think, at halftime, on Hurricane Sandy. And I thought it was fitting because we've got the State University of New Jersey here. So that'll be a neat night. And then after the game in the locker room, Governor Kriske can tell me what we didn't do offensively and defensively, which he likes to tell me a lot of times in text messages.
How important is it to raise funds for that? Because had it gone a different direction, it could have impacted Rehoboth.
Yeah, no, I was watching, it went up and the Jersey took the bullet because my place in Rehoboth, we were watching it closely. But you know what, also, our connection to New Jersey, Notre Dame's connection to that state students that we've had from there, athletes there's a great Notre Dame faction. When we play at Seton Hall and Rutgers, there's ND people all over the place. So I think there was a lot of parallels there, and certainly it's a big mission of our university to help.